This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for May 13, 2023. And in the news this evening, St. Anne couple found dead by daughter. A couple was found dead at their home in Gully Road, St. Anne on Friday evening. The deceased have been identified as Danny and Kamara Walletston. Police reported that around 4:20 p.m., the couple's daughter came home and stumbled upon their bodies in their bedroom. The father was seen lying on his back with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the torso, while the mother was seen on the floor with gunshot wounds to the upper body. Police were called to the scene and the bodies were removed to the morgue. Investigations continue. 2 men killed in St. James gun attack. 2 men were shot dead by a gunman at a shop in Greenwood, St. James Saturday morning. The deceased have been identified as Marshall Hyatt, otherwise called Gus, 42, a shop operator from Greenwood, and a man known only as a Little Man. It was reported that around 1 a.m., Marshall and the Little Man were closing the shop when a man entered and ordered a drink. While Little Man was serving the customer the drink, he reportedly pulled a firearm. Police said the man opened a gunfire, hitting Marshall in his upper body, right arm and both feet. Little Man was shot in his head and upper body. Both men died on the spot. The customer, police said, made his escape in a waiting motor car. The scene was processed and the 12 spent casings were found. The body were removed to the morgue pending a post-mortem examination. This is the third double murder to rock St. James this week. Police have not yet established a motive for the killing. Karl Samuda confirms imminent retirement from cabinet. Have confirmed his imminent departure from the cabinet. Mr. Samuda, in an interview with the news on Saturday morning, said that his exit, which will be soon, should not come as a surprise, as he has indicated that he would step down from his ministerial role at the midterm. He said the departure process started on Friday when he met Permanent Secretary Colette Roberts-Risden and other members of the executive team. He is now anticipating the official announcement by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Mr. Samuda, who is 81, confirmed that his age led to him putting the Prime Minister on alert regarding his impending departure from ministerial duties. He has been at that ministry for almost 3 years.
I have to await certain instructions and particulars, which I expect I will receive in the coming week. It's dependent on the extent to which the Prime Minister has completed the process of his renewal. And so as soon as that is received, then, I will limit office fully. I said to the Prime Minister when he appointed me that I would not be with him for more than 2 to 3 years, because I was very aware of the fact that at that time I was 78 years old, and I set myself a target, and that target determined that at that time I would wish to retire from ministerial duties, give or take a few months here or there, which really doesn't matter in the scheme of things. But at an appropriate time, suitable to the Prime Minister and to the team that I'm a part of, this was the appropriate thing to do. And it was, I don't think it was a surprise to anyone. When I went to the people and asked for their support over these many, many years, I didn't ask for their support in a conditional way. That is, if things run well, I will be with you. But in the event that things don't go according to oil, so to speak, that I will leave. I was elected by the people to serve a term. And so, in fairness to them and to myself and my place in whatever history will record, I don't wish to be considered someone who leaves representational politics prematurely.
British man remanded on cocaine-related charges. A British man who was caught attempting to smuggle more than 14 pounds of cocaine out of Jamaica was remanded on Friday when he appeared in the St. James Parish Court. David Anthony Thomas, 58, a construction worker of Birmingham, England, pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking charges. He is scheduled to return to court on May 31 to answer to charges of possession of cocaine, dealing in, attempting to export, and the conspiracy to export cocaine. The Narcotics Police reported that on May 3, the British man was arrested while preparing to board a flight to Manchester, England. The cops say 7 kilograms of cocaine was found in his luggage. Mixed views on elected Senate. With the process of constitutional reform currently in the early stages, Attorney-at-Law Kenyatta Powell wants to see a fundamental change in how members of the Jamaican Senate are appointed. Mr. Powell believes lawmakers should be accountable to the people and therefore should be elected. In that regard, he is suggesting that a different approach be used to determine candidates for election to the Senate, one in which the candidate should have to meet certain qualifying criteria if what we are really after is to get people into the Senate with a certain expertise.
There are also other elements we could add to the model, right? So we could, for instance, have a stipulation that, candidates on a list for senators must have, we could include certain qualifying criteria for the senators if what we're really after is to get people into the Senate with certain expertise. But I just think that at the end of the day, those people should be subject to the minimum amount of popular accountability, which would be an election.
Barbara Blake Hanna was one of 8 independent senators appointed the People's National Party, leaving the incumbent Jamaica Labour Party with control of all 60 seats then in the House of Representatives. She said she enjoyed the experience of being in the upper house, not beholden to either of the 2 dominant political parties. That she was an adherent of the Rastafarian faith was also significant for her, she said, expressing doubt that if it were an elected Senate, many Rastas who would be voted for or even stand for election. On the other hand, she noted that an elected Senate would also give an opportunity for people to justify their right to be in the Senate.
It's a discussion we must have when we're revising the Constitution, whether we have elected or selected. I was part of a selected Senate opposition, and the advantage was that I was an independent. There were 8 independents, and that really hasn't happened before. A selected opposition then enables a Rasta to sit in the Senate. And I don't think that if it were an elected Senate, there would be many Rastas who would be voted for, who would even stand up for election. But an elected Senate would also give an opportunity for people to justify their right to be in the Senate. So I see the benefits of that as well.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.